Hi everyone, my name is Aresp. Nice to meet you all here. Today I would like to share some of the frequent asked questions regarding my course, Connecting with Your Higher Self. I received loads of messages after the course release, so I would like to share some of the common questions for your ease of reference via this video. The first question: what is the higher self? In fact, the higher self is part of you. He is a version of you who is fully connected to God, a divine version of you. We can imagine that the higher self is a circuit board with infinite circuit possibility, and your body is this 3D version, is a circuit board with limited functionality, and if we put too much voltage into this limited circuit board at the same time, it will be burned. Of course, you can communicate with God directly, but due to the limitation of this circuit board, your communication with God will be limited only to your body. When your higher self is fully connected with you, he will act like a connector and a mediator between you and God. Most of us are connected to our ego self, who is a sense of personal identity and feelings of self-importance, and connected with the higher self merely, which caused it to a slight connection with God to some extent. However, there are lots of spiritual masters, monks, and saints who are fully enlightened and fully connected with their higher self. If you like to receive the message from the God, the connection with higher self is required. The second question: can everyone connect with their higher self? Yes, everyone can connect with their inner and divine self after specific spiritual exercise. Before we are born, we have already decided what we want to experience in this world, which is like a draft, and the higher self is act like a director who is responsible for arranging your learning goal and self-challenges. The direction of your plot is determined by your own personal free will. If you connect with your higher self, he will give you a guidance for moving towards the most perfect script in your life. The third question: what benefits will you gain after you connect with your higher self? The connection with the higher self means that you build up a trustworthy relationship through a specific practice. After a series of spiritual practice, he will merge with our soul and integrate it with our physical body. You will be able to balance between your ego, lower self, and higher self, enriching the state of consciousness, allowing us to access the deepest truth and hidden knowledge, allowing us to become the best versions of ourselves. And this is the goal of Ascension. If you would like to receive more message from the universe, you should be open-minded to admit the existence of higher self, your most divine version, which we call it as enlightenment. When the connection between you and your higher self is leveled up, your higher self will provide information which is important to you actively, which is not the information from your ego. You can think of it by your intelligence or previous experience or your own desire. You will be able to distinguish whether the message from your higher self or from your ego. Your higher self will start to provide information which you don't know, but you do need to know for you to make the right decision. The fourth question: what will this course cover? The main content of the spiritual course will be slightly different for everyone. The main content sequence will depending on your own personal spiritual growth. At first, we have teach some ways for activate the connection with the higher self. The content which are listed out in the course description will be covered, but the sequence may be adjusted according to the need and the learning progress of the student. Also, different kinds of the content may be added to facilitate the connection. For instance, different kinds of spiritual tools may be used or taught in order to strengthen the trust and the connection with the higher self. All in all, the sequence of the course content will be tailor-made according to the individual state and needs of the student. The reason for such arrangement is for achieving our ultimate goal, connected with the higher self successfully. The course content and the sequence will be advised after the first spiritual consultation conducted. The fifth question: how does your content compare with other courses? The main difference for me to compare with my course with other similar courses in the market are as follows. First, our course conducted in one-on-one basis. I think this will be the most effective way for students to learn. Currently, most of the courses in the market are one teacher with 5 or 10 students. One-on-one basis can allow me to make course adjustments closely to the need of students and provide guidance on key issues at the right time. Can make students more confident in the learning process to achieve their soul and session goals. Second, our course content is tailor-made based on the need of students. Among the students I have taught so far, the problems that everyone encounters are different. If we deal with them in a unified way, it's hard to take care of the individual needs of the student concerned, resulting the connection with higher self failed. The content of the general courses in the market is mainly to focusing on the description and explanation of the higher self connection. However, my course content includes healing, understanding, practice, and other different parts. Third, our course can come with follow-up service. This is the most important and unusual part of my course. Most of the time after the course is finished, there is no other follow-up service. Sometimes you will have doubts or questions about your own feelings when you start practice on your own. You may need an answer of someone to give you and guidance in such circumstances. The purpose of this follow-up service is to accompany you throughout the learning process and provide guidance when appropriate. During the higher self connection activation journey, what you learned in the class only do little contribution. Practicing applying in daily life will be the most important part for that. If you need to ask questions or guidance when you practice daily, you can use the follow-up service so that all your questions will be answered at the right time. The sixth question: what personal attributes do I need to have to take this course? Many students have asked me what kind of qualities are required to participate in the Connecting with Higher Self course. Do I need to be highly spiritual? Do I need to believe in any religion? I think the most important qualities is ambitions. First of all, you need to understand a person's spiritual ascension. It is important for us to understand the reason for us to come to the earth and what's your own life mission. This course will not be suitable if your purpose for learning spiritual ascension is for the satisfaction of the material desires or do something bad after the spiritual connection with the goals. Also, self-motivation is an important quality during the learning process, since after the learning and practicing during the lesson, you have to use it and apply it into your daily life. Students need to follow the teacher's instruction and carry out the practice independently in daily life in order to be more likely to succeed for the activation. Therefore, you need to be willing to spend time on every day in order to mastering the ability after the higher self connection. The seventh question: are there any taboos in the process of reconnecting with the higher self? Yes. During the process of connecting with higher self, you are not allowed to use any divination tools like tarot reading, pendulums, etc. to inquire about your personal matters. If you break down these rules, the whole practice needs to be started all over again. The eighth question: is the course length the same for everyone? Of course not. Each person with different level of spiritual awareness and the degree of soul injury and recovery level are different. The approximate time for the higher self-connection process will only can tell after the first consultation being conducted. Most of the time, I will tell you the estimated length of the course according to the diagnosis of the consultation. Also, I will give the list of the content the course after consultation so that you can have a plan on it. The course length will also depend on the student qualities. As aforesaid, daily practice is very important. You have to follow the instructions to do the practice. This is the only way to keep the progress on the track. 9th question. How long will it take for me to connect with my higher self successfully? This is the most frequent asked question. Until now, most of my students can complete the higher self connection within 2 to 3 months. You need to have a positive attitude and regular practice in order to achieve the higher self connection within 2 to 3 months. However, there are some special circumstances. If you have violated the taboo, which I just said, or if you have a lot of mistrust in spirituality, it may make longer time for connection building up. The 10th question. How much does this course cost? My course first requires the first consultation service, which costs 800 Hong Kong dollars per hour and a total of 1,600 Hong Kong dollars for 2 hours consultation. Then the course is 4,800 Hong Kong dollars per month. There will be 2 classes per month. The length of each class is 2 hours. There is the after class following up service, which is 1,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. To put it simply, if you take 2 classes a month with following up service, it will be 5,800 Hong Kong dollars. Of course, I have some students whose progress is relatively fast and would like to take 4 classes a month, which is also possible. The price is doubled. The 11th question. How do I enroll in this course? If you are interested in this higher self connection course, you need to contact me via my website or Instagram, YouTube to make an appointment for the first consultation. After the first consultation process, if everything is fine, we can start to arrange the course for you. Of course, during the first consultation process, you will also understand about your personal situation. I will let you know how the course will be carried out. The 12th question. How is the course to be conducted? My class will be conducted online as one-on-one meeting, and materials related to the class will be sent as online as well. Students from all over the world are welcome to participate. The 13th question. Can I request to add on content to the course? Yes. If you want to join the Third Eye Activation course with some other add-on of the spiritual items like pendulum, tarot, magic spell, etc., we can add it up according to your need and progress. 14th question. Are there any negative or bad effects for connecting with the higher self? Basically, it will not have any negative or bad effect for connecting with the higher self, the teachers, guardians, and assistants. However, if the students tried some other spiritual method to speed up the connection, such as performing other spell or magic without informing the teachers in advance, this may cause to misrecognize the voice from other ghosts or gods as their higher self. The wrong decision may be made after the misidentification for the source of information. The 15th question. Does this course guarantee a successful connection with the higher self? Everyone's learning motivation and diligence are different, so I cannot guarantee that everyone can connect with the higher self successfully. But I'm confident to tell you that if you can follow all the instructions in the course and putting effort on practicing regularly with positive attitude, your higher self connection will be built up successfully for sure. Thank you everyone for your interest regarding my higher self connection course. Should you have any further inquiries, please feel free to leave me a comment below or send me the message via the platform listed below. Have a good day. Bye.